Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I have a bunch of different topics to talk about. Some of these topics are very important news, and then some of these topics are looking far into the future at sort of what if territory. And man, I hope. But before we jump the gun and start talking about all this other stuff, I do want to start off with Street Fighter. The tweet says, "Today is Street Fighter's 35th anniversary. We prepared a commemorative website full of illustrations, a message from the team, and a comment section where you can share your thoughts about the series." Throughout this video, you guys will see some of those screenshots and some of those illustrations that they have on their website in this video, because I think it's cool just to look at how this game has progressed all these years. That's what I always focus on, is Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. These games are some of the oldest in all of gaming, and the fact that they're still going so incredibly hard to this day is nice. Yes, they hit a few speed bumps here and there, but the fact that they survived this long, I just appreciate that. So you will see some illustrations in the background. Another thing that I thought I should mention in this video, the headline says, "How many people are still actively playing MultiVerses 1 month after its launch?" And they have a screenshot here that shows the all-time peak, 153,000. This is when the beta came out or something like that. I know when the beta came out, it was massive. 24-hour peak, almost 30,000. Playing 13 minutes ago, 27,000. Now, of course, this game is going to dip down. That's just how it works. When a game first comes out, it explodes, but then it kind of trickles down a little bit, and you can see where the real player base is at. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because, MultiVerses is going to change some things when you're talking about fighting games. I'm not saying every game is going to be free to play, even though Project L immediately announced free to play. When they saw what MultiVersus did, they was like, yeah, us too. So you can see that it's already kind of having its impact. What I want to see is if these fighting games go sort of a battle pass route, where they add skins and they add cosmetics. I think that would alleviate some of the stress when you're talking about pay to win DLC. They wouldn't need to make these DLC characters as egregious, because another revenue source for them could be skins, right? So I compared their numbers, MultiVersus, to Tekken and Street Fighter. In game for MultiVersus is 8,143. For Tekken 7, it's 4,980, so almost half. And in Street Fighter, boy oh boy, this game only has 1,735. You can see the 24-hour peaks for each one of these games, 7,000, 25,000, and 3,000, right? That's where these three stand. One thing that always amazes me is how Tekken 7 has maintained. We see this drop off with Street Fighter, drop off with Mortal Kombat, but regardless of how old Tekken get, and regardless of how upset the community get, the player base does not dip down. That is so fascinating to me. I raged quit yesterday because I was having connection issues the whole live stream.
Man, oh my god, I'm done. I'm tired of this, bro. I just want to play Tekken. And how much time have I spent searching for games, loading? Bro, I'm done.
Another thing that I want to talk about, this is looking very far into the future, but I am praying that this becomes a reality. This is a tweet from Nibel. For those of you who don't know, Nibel or Nibelian basically is a very big gaming journalist, I would say. Anything that happened in gaming, they're reporting on it, and it's strictly facts, it's strictly concrete information. And the Bell say, SNK Oda told VGC that a new SNK versus Capcom game could come in the future. The quote says, "Definitely in the future. That's something that I think everybody on all sides in both parties are interested in making a reality." When I heard this, I kind of thought back to Tekken Cross Street Fighter, because that is a game that's up in the air, and some people want that game, some people don't want that game. But SNK versus Capcom, this, in my opinion, is one of the best fighting games of all time. I probably would not be a huge fan of fighting games if it wasn't for 1 and 2. So I would love for them to make another one. Of course, I say this is probably super far away because you have Street Fighter 6, you have all these games that's already in development, and we'll have to wait until the end of those life cycles to see what these companies are going to do next. Another tweet here says, Odo mentions the fans' reactions at EVO 2022 poster by SNK/Capcom and how positive reception confirmed to him that there is still high interest in a collaboration. The quote down below says, especially after we saw the reaction of the EVO poster, it helped us reconfirm that is possibly one of the most wanted things from the fighting game community across the entire world. Asked if there were specific plans in place, Oda replied, we haven't really talked in detail with anybody at Capcom about it. It might have come up as a vague comment. However, we have a lot of experience in crossovers with things like Akuma and Geese in Tekken, Terry Bogard in Fighting X Players, Terry in Smash Bros, and Becken in Samurai Showdown. So kind of flexing what they have achieved in this generation. But recently, we haven't actually done anything with Capcom, even on character collaboration stuff. So that poster at EVO, in our sense, was the first step towards maybe something like that happening in the future. Now, what's really interesting about this is Street Fighter. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I don't think Street Fighter, like the main game series, has ever had a guest character. And I definitely, in this whole DLC era of fighting games, I can definitely see them having a first time guest character. I don't know if it will be an SNK character or a Tekken character or a Guilty Gear Strive character, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they did it, because DLC characters is huge for fighting games. Not only does it make a lot of money, but it generates a lot of hype, especially after the game came out. The game could be 3 years old but still trending because you have a collaboration with whatever, you know? So that's something that's going to be on Capcom's mind if they feel they need to boost the game's sort of media presence, right? I know a lot of people are wondering what's up with Tokyo Game's show. I am going to do a full video breaking it down and talking about it once we get a little bit closer, but Street Fighter 6 already revealed their hand. They're kind of already showing us what they have in mind. I'll show you guys some of the pictures in the background. I like here how they have Street Fighter 6 and they have all of the 7 characters that has been revealed so far lined up. And then also I like here how they have badges for each character. You have G18 Sonic Eagle. I don't know who Bussin is, but you have that. You have something about Blanca, so basically Blanca might be in the game. I can't remember all the characters that was leaked, but I think Blanca was one of them. And then this bottom right image, I can't remember this character, but I think this was a crossover. This could be a guest character. As for the actual event, it says JST 9/15 through 9/18. So this is September 15th through September 18th. They will have new build trial demos, 7 playable characters. So Guile, Jamie, Luke, Kimberly, Jury, all of the 7 characters will be playable at Tokyo Game Show. Here's the part that's important. The program is scheduled to last approximately 50 minutes. Dates and times are subject to change without notice. Street Fighter 6 with a brand new trailer, and find out about the characters featured in the game, as well as the World Tour and Battle Hub modes. Now, I don't know if they're saying they're going to show a character, more information about the World Tour, and also the Battle Hub. That's a lot to reveal at Tokyo Game Show, but if they're prepared to do that, I'm more than excited. Whatever they do actually cover here, I definitely will make a video about it. I'll try to upload the trailers if I can. Do everything in my power to keep you guys informed. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that. It's literally like a week away, 2 weeks away. A quote says, get a taste of the fighting grounds and World Tour modes with a real-time gameplay demo, along with an introduction to the vision and visuals of World of Street Fighter 6. Don't miss it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time they ever did a demo for the World Hub or the World Tour, whatever it's called. So that's going to be interesting to see what that gameplay looks like. Another thing that I thought was interesting when you talk about Capcom is a news article from Event Hubs. Capcom shed a bit of light on how Luke's character has changed from Street Fighter 5 to Street Fighter 6. Now, we know that Street Fighter 6 is going to be the newest game, And I say newest as in term of timeline. Street Fighter usually bounced back and forth and they never went past, I think Third Strike is the last one in chronological order, but Street Fighter 6 finally will. So some of these characters is going to look a lot older and look a lot different. The quote says, "There's a definite personality shift. Luke's still the same person, but we worked very close with a scenario writer on the project and taken efforts to make sure players understand why this change happened. We think that once players get their hands on the game, they'll understand a bit about what happened to Luke." That's what I'm really interested to see, is what happened to all of these characters. I know people often say story doesn't matter in fighting games, but I think that couldn't be farthest from the truth. Story is another reason why we pick these characters. Yes, visuals and gameplay, but then story is just that another layer that really makes us sink our teeth into these characters. I think the change in tone matches that of the game. More youthful, modern, and with a high presence of street culture. As a new character of Street Fighter V, what we knew about him mostly focused on his origin story, but there was a certain mismatch between the gravity of the story and his general image. And that's the thing with Street Fighter 6 that we have to remember. Luke was not supposed to be added to that game, but they added him because they needed a little bit more time to work on Street Fighter 6, so they did one more final season pass balance patch to stretch that game's lifespan. And you could really tell with the numbers I just shown that they really are stretching it as much as possible, and they cannot wait to, just how we can't wait to play it, they can't wait for us to play it either, because those numbers is hitting hard. Switching over to Tekken, I have two tweets. This one is from Landed D, and it says, "This is just my opinion so far. Top 5 is ordered, but top 15 is roughly ordered. They all feel really obnoxious to play against, just from the presence on screen." And the characters he have in top 15 is Akuma, Fang, Kazuya, Zafina, and Geese Howard. That's a given. Everyone could have guessed that. But top 15, you have Paul Phoenix, Marduk, Anna, Lee, Ganryu, Julia, Steve Fox, Claudio, Alyssa, and Zhao Yu, surprisingly. Now, I would agree. Well, I think Zhao Yu is a little bit different, and maybe Anna is Anna that high up too? I mean, I would agree with a lot of this, but that's the thing. I haven't played Tekken 7 that much to really know how obnoxious characters are, but I know this 5.0 update really emphasizes unga bunga and cheesy tactics. Tekken used to be this game about like straightforward, spacing and this and that and, punishment. But now with that new wall tactic, it kind of seems like unga bunga your way to the top. If you're not doing it, then you are probably going to be the ones getting destroyed. And I would agree, characters like Alyssa, Claudio, there's a lot of characters in here who are just so cheesy, right? But I did want to mention that because we're starting to see more tier lists. I talked about Main Man Squeeze, and then here's is another one. I can't wait to see Arsalan's and Knee. Hopefully they put theirs out soon, but patience. The final thing that I want to talk about, this is from Lena. I don't know who this is, but they definitely have a cool comparison here. Watching House of Dragons, and I can't be the only one, right? Now, House of Dragons, to my understanding, is a new Game of Thrones spin-off, and you have a picture of Leroy Smith on the left side, and then you have a picture of, I don't know who this character is or what their name is, but you can definitely tell this is inspired by Leroy Smith. Just change the outfit from white to black, and then take off the sunglasses, and then boom. And I think this is kind of cool how, even though fighting games is kind of niche, I won't say niche, but the community is small. It's growing pretty fast, but it's still kind of small. But even in different sorts of medias like TV shows and movies and other games, you can see that they are watching what fighting games are doing, and they're trying to imitate it. They're trying to take some of the good things and add it to their own projects, right? Leroy Smith is hands down one of the best designed Tekken characters of all time. So I'm honestly not surprised to see movies and stuff trying to ride that wave as well, right? But that's going to be it. I just want to talk about all these things in this video because I think it's fascinating the direction that fighting game industry is heading. I'm excited. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises coming this next year, and I hope the devs can balance these games better. I hope the devs can figure out the pay to win situation and also infrastructure. I'm all on board. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.